Good morning. 5:13 is the time. Let's get straight to the traffic center right now, where George Rask is keeping an eye on the commute. We've had some incidences this morning.
We have indeed, James. We certainly had the potential for a major hotspot on Interstate 580 through Richmond to Albany when the police in Richmond asked the CHP if they would close down the freeway and stop traffic long enough while they searched for spent casings. There was a report at around 4:11 this morning of a shooting on the freeway, and in response to that request from the Richmond PD, the CHP did for a while stop traffic on 80 and 580, but that is completely cleared up now, no longer a factor, not a hot spot, and that was averted this morning. So again, while there had been reports, James, of the potential for trouble in a hot spot on 580, not the case right now. It's an easier commute for that westbound ride. Sir.
All right, good news, George. Thank you much. We'll visit with you again shortly. 5:14 the time. Other developing stories at this hour as the Swiss embassy in Tehran works to learn more about the fate of 3 detained Americans. Sarah Schroed of Oakland and Shane Bauer, of a graduate from UC Berkeley, are 2 of the 3 Americans now that are being detained in Iran who've ties now to the Bay Area. The 3rd American is Joseph Fatal, who's an environmental worker from Oregon. His grandmother, though, does live in the Bay Area. Reports say the 3 were hiking along the northern Iraqi border and crossed accidentally into Iran, where they were surrounded and arrested by soldiers on Saturday. Iranian authorities say they have detained the 3 hikers because they entered the country without legal permission. The area where they disappeared is a popular hiking destination and is known for its picturesque landscapes, and that's why they say they were there and accidentally crossed the border. All right, at 5:15, another story for you. This is the 4th companion, just so you know, who he was supposed to be with the Americans when they were hiking. His name is Sean McFessel, but he was basically stepped back and took a pass on the hiking trip. He was nursing a cold, and so that's why he wasn't with them. He spoke by phone to his grandmother, who does live in Sacramento. She says that he told her his friends called him right before they were captured, and they told him they'd accidentally wandered into Iran and were currently surrounded by troops. Sean is being housed right now at the American Embassy in Baghdad. And of course, the incident does bring to mind the 2 local journalists that were arrested in North Korea under similar circumstances. Laura Ling and Yuna Lee work, of course, for Al Gore's Current TV, which is based in San Francisco. They were captured back in March and later sentenced to 12 years of hard labor for what the North Korean court called hostile acts. They crossed the border into North Korea while on a reporting assignment in China. The U.S. says it's still trying to persuade North Korea to release the 2 journalists. All right, 5:16 the time. Let's get over to the Weather Center now. Say good morning to Evelyn Tack. Find out what's in store for your Monday forecast. Hey, Ev.
Good morning, James. Well, clouds and fog. What else in store for your forecast? No, a little more sunshine Saturday into Sunday. Temperatures up only a couple degrees. James?
All right, thank you very much, Evelyn. And a couple stories for you, too, around the Bay this morning. There will be an arraignment and plea entry this morning for Hamid Papal. You see his photo there. He is the Fremont man who's been indicted on murder charges for allegedly using his car to strike and kill 54-year-old Stephen J. Wilson in Fremont back on August of 2006. Papal, of course, was also charged with 16 counts of attempted murder and other charges in connection with a 15-minute driving rampage in San Francisco later that same day. But a judge found him to be not guilty by reason of insanity. Popal was then sent to the Napa State Hospital for treatment. All right, at 5:19, we've got to take another break, but we'll be back with more news, weather, and traffic in just a moment. Stick around for that. Let's go outside, give you a live picture here of the Golden Gate Bridge. The commute moving along just fine. The fog there, but not a major factor this morning, although it will keep temperatures on the cool side for today. Another check of the forecast and a check of the commute, too, coming up at the bottom of the hour. Stay with us. Good morning. 5:22 is the time. Let's take a quick look here at your 7-day forecast, see how your work week will shape up weather-wise. So far, so good. Another cool, unseasonably cool week ahead. We've got, low 80s inland, upper 60s to low 70s throughout the week for folks around the Bay, and for folks living along the coast, low 60s for the better part of the week ahead. We'll get a detailed look at the forecast with Evelyn coming up in just a little bit. In the meantime, we did want to tell you about a new state report in California that says the state needs to prepare for the effects of climate change even if the world is successful in cutting carbon emissions in the future. The report warns that rising temperatures over the next few decades will lead to more heat waves, more wildfires, droughts, and floods. It encourages local communities to rethink future development in low-lying coastal areas. It also warns that they should reinforce levees that protect flood-prone areas and conserve already strapped water supplies. The draft report being released today provides the state's first comprehensive plan to work with local governments, universities, and residents to deal with a changing climate. Also for you new this morning, and the latest now on the O.J. Simpson court case, actually. O.J. Simpson and a former golfing buddy are hoping their lawyers can convince a Nevada Supreme Court panel to spring them from prison while the High Court reviews their convictions in a gunpoint hotel room heist. Again, Simpson and convicted co-defendant Clarence C.J. Stewart won't be in the Las Vegas courtroom today when their lawyers get 30 minutes to argue for bond pending appeal and all that. So anyway, they're fighting to get out, but we'll wait. Well, we'll let you know if they're successful in that. All right, 5:24, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back, though, with more in just a couple of minutes, so stay with us. Let's go outside, give you another live look this morning. It's time for my roof camera and show you how the fog is, of course, affecting the city here. It's kind of low, hovering around the buildings, so won't really affect your visibility if you're out on the road. It's not thick enough to do that, but as Evelyn's been telling you, it's going to keep temperatures quite a bit on the cool side. Unseasonably cool here. Won't feel like August. It's going to feel like April, really, when you're out and about today, so bring a jacket. From here, let's go to the Golden Gate Bridge, show you again how the commute's shaping up for folks in the North Bay traveling down into San Francisco. If you're driving right now, you're moving without any problems across the span this morning. And let's see, do we have one more? No. Okay, we'll go to break on this shot. We'll come back, though, with a full look at weather and traffic in just a minute, so stay with us.